Jai Hind everyone. I, Roop Barman, welcome you all to the Mantavya series of podcast today. Today, we are honored to join by our esteemed guest of honor, Dr. Debiprosad Duari. Welcome, sir. Without any further ado, you have spent your life exploring space and science and making it even accessible for everyone on Earth. So, my first question to you will be what first sparked your curiosity?
See, when I was a child, a school kid, uh, I used to love science. And then slowly it dawned onto me that everything around us, every natural phenomena that we see, has a scientific rule behind it. And that attracted me towards what is called physics. Because I realized that the physics has all these rules, regulations, and equations to describe most of what we see around the nature as well as everything else. After that, when I realized that the biggest questions that comes in any person's mind about nature, about ourselves, about our evolution, everything probably has an answer in space. Because when we studied the stars, galaxies, the whole universe, though it seems very big and disconnected from our everyday living, but in a very broader sense, bigger sense, they are all connected with us. Just to give you an idea, when I first studied that our whole body, any human body, is made up of almost 95% stardust. It is only material which has been processed inside stars which has made our body. Because the scientists believe at the beginning of the whole universe, only hydrogen and helium was there. But the iron in our bloodstream, the calcium in our bones, the sodium, potassium, magnesium, atom by atom literally was created billions of years back inside a star. So we are all star material. So that sort of things, understanding attracted me towards this subject.
Well, I could surely see the spark in Sir's eyes when he talks about science. Moving ahead, sir, why do you feel it is important to make science simple and accessible for everyone around us?
See, first of all, science is a very interesting subject, so everybody should have a notion of it. And then, as I just answered in the previous question, our whole life is related to science, is not a textbook subject. That I'm talking to you, that my voice, the vocal sac is vibrating. And when I say the energy for this vibration comes from the sun, because it is glucose which is produced by the plant coming inside my body, creating the energy for the vibrate sac to support. That we are speaking over this microphone, the electromagnetic connection, radiation, that is defined by science. When we are looking at each other and maybe smiling or maybe feeling a little anger, all these emotions are created by proteins in our body. For each emotion, there is a particular protein, and their transport along our nervous system produces the emotions. So that is science. So science is not a subject. If you want to ask anything, inside you, outside you, the relation between inside and outside, you have to go through science. That is the reason science should be taught at every level. Not only that, nowadays we talk about development in every aspect, infrastructure, logistic, financial, other things. Development cannot be done by just government. It has to have a participation with the general people. And for that sort of development, they should understand why the development in what way is happening. That way, the amount of opposition becomes less and they participate in it wholeheartedly. So for nation building also, a scientific mindset, a scientific temper, which has been in our constitution, that every Indian citizen should have a scientific temper, that should be built up.
Well, how you relate one thing to another just gives me a moment to pause. Well, today's generation is surrounded by technology and fast information. So, how can young minds stay curious and patient while learning science?
See, today's Gen Z, as you call as Gen Z,
Yes.
or younger generation, 60% of population of India is below 35 years of age. So it is a young generation. But the point is that things are moving so fast, especially technology. Even if you take softwares, AI, other things, that there is not much time for this young generation to learn the subject. Rather, to be informed, find the application, apply it, and move on. But why? How? That questions comes when you try to create, innovate. So when innovation is one of the focus, when creation is one of the focus, you have to go to the depth of it. And that is the reason there should be patient enough. And they should be working on two levels. One, applicative level, skill level for their jobs or startups or whatever. And second, to do it much, to prosper in that field, they have to know deeper, right? So, for example, if you give me a software and say, cut and paste some part, create a new software, it's quite easy. I don't have to think what is the logic behind writing the software. But the moment I start understanding the logic, I create softwares, not copy paste it. So that is a subtle difference between a nation being productive and progressive and a nation which builds on its own wisdom and knowledge. So I think India needs that sort of outlook. And for that, the young generation should try to realize that they should work at two levels. One, external sense in their work, in their application. One, internal sense to enrich each one with the knowledge base and also try to find answers to very basic questions which comes in their mind.
Well, sir, I would also like to ask you that how was your experience at our Banaras Lit Fest?
See, in our Hindu culture or in our Indian culture, Mela, fair, plays a very big role. Because it is not just a collection of shops, colorful dresses, lot of people, lot of food. It is also an amalgamation, a meeting point of ideas, senses, different concepts, different people interacting with different personalities, localities, and all sorts of things. So in that sense, BLF, apart from the Banaras Literary Festival, is also to me is some kind of a special mela, where educated minds, academic minds, intellectual people, and young generation, they're coming together in a melting pot of ideas, transformation of faiths and beliefs, and also communication about what is happening around. The word literary here should not be taken in a literary sense because it is literary, meaning literature. But to tell you my feelings, literature is nothing but a vehicle of expression. Our ideas, our thoughts, our communicative skills. So that is true for every subject, science, arts, humanities, skills, everything needs to be communicated, to be expressed in words so that other people can understand. And there this question of literary comes. So happily I notice people from all walks of life, from all vocations and professions are coming here, converging here to give lectures which ultimately will enrich our mindset, not just our literary excellence. That is the USP, I think, of BLF.
Surely, sir, we do agree on this.
Right.
With this note, thank you so much,
Oh,
sir, for
thank you,
giving
thank
us this opportunity.
Thank you so
What an
much.
amazing conversation it was. With this, I, Roop Barman, signing off.